All right, back for another episode of 30 Teams, 30 Minutes. We're going to do the Detroit Pistons. Definitely hit subscribe. Uh, NBA Bet of the Day, or just Bet of the Day, just in general, every day. Over 60% clip. So let's keep the good time rolling. NBA Night Notes, that's starting off. So check that out as well. Starting off this Monday. So check that out. But let's go ahead and get to the Pistons. Last in the East, 2-8 in their last 10. Lost their last 4 games, but I'm just going to let you know right now, arrows up on them. Last 3 losses, and 5 of the last 6 have been one possession games in the fourth quarter. Have losses to Miami, Atlanta, Houston, and Philadelphia. On the positive side, Jeremy Grant, 25, 6, and 3, 46 from the field, 40 from 3. He's just been as advertised with the contract. At least he's even underpaid as the contract. I remember when the contract first came out, a lot of people attacked it. So what the hell is the Pistons doing? Why are they going after all these bigs? And I mean, he's just been a stud. He's been better than I even think. Uh, he probably expected as far as how well he's played this year. I mean, these aren't just junk stats. I'm watching these games. He's scoring on some of the best defenders in clutch possessions. There's some things he probably needs to clean up from his game, and I might put together a little video mashup of the things that I like and I dislike. But reminds me a lot of Sean Marion, Matrix. Just he just has these swift movements. He almost glides in the way that Marion does, and just explodes the rim. Obviously, a freak athlete. Just he's a fantastic player. So shout out to him for betting on himself. I mean, he's underpaid in all honesty. And I remember a moment. I believe it was Game 5. I believe they lost the Lakers in 5. And at the end of the game, he had a great game that game 5. At the end of the game, him and LeBron were talking. LeBron was talking to him, and you could just see his eyes that he was listening to LeBron very intently. I'm sure LeBron, I don't know what was said, but I'm guessing it was in that moment that he decided, hey, I'm going to try to get my own team. LeBron probably told him, hey, you're good and you need to believe it. And sometimes you need a guy just to tell you that. I talk a lot about young coaches and how, coaches for young teams. And one of my disappointments in this cycle was no one hired Mark Jackson. And there's a lot of talk of how his Warriors tenure ended and things off the record that have never been shared that are kind of prohibiting teams from hiring him. But I think for a young team, he's great because he just instills confidence in you. Reggie Miller has talked about it. Um, how he instilled this confidence in him, always pushed him. And if you remember, the Warriors, before everyone agreed that they were the best shooting backcourt in the league, Mark Jackson jumped out on the ledge and he said it. And I do think that it was that confidence that helped Steph Curry and Clay become the players that they were. So um, I think that sometimes you're like all these guys are professional athletes, but do think that confidence and people believing you, pushing you. Some people are just naturally motivated. Shout out to the Mamba, rest in peace. But sometimes some people need a push, and that's not a bad thing. And I'm not exactly sure, but I'm guessing it was this push by someone who's arguably the greatest player of all time, greatest player of all time in my book, telling him that you could be great and you can do your thing. That kind of probably led him to go to the Pistons and have the year that he's having. Um, I think that the wings are a priority in this NBA. I mean, and they have a lot of young wings that are interesting. The Pistons, Josh Jackson, that reclamation project looks like they've hit on that. He's showing me some skills that made him the number 4 overall pick and had people being so high on him. He's added some size to him. Jump shot is still not what you would want it to be, but he's not reluctant shooting it. And, him adding this size means to me that he's taking his career seriously, and I wouldn't be surprised if he adds that to his game. So I really like that pickup for them. Bay looks like a player. He's shooting the ball extremely well. And even in the Philadelphia game, he got a couple buckets down in the one-on-one variety in the post, making some plays. That hasn't been his forte. But he's a rookie. He's a young player. I'm just really intrigued with him. So like that, it's a bummer that Hayes um, got injured. I would really like to see what he looks like as a player. Especially since they're going to have a high pick this draft. You want to know, maybe try to make an assessment on him just in case. Maybe there's a Cade Cunningham that's available at that position. You don't want overlap, so hopefully. It sounded like it was a more serious injury, but hopefully he can get back in and get some similar, meaningful minutes. Um, like the kid Stewart that they drafted. They were attacked for drafting that Stewart kid. That kid, it looks like he's built out of marble. He competes. Watched him play versus the Pistons. Didn't back down from Joel Embiid. I haven't seen him back down from anybody. Played the Suns. Didn't back down from Aiden. He's just an athletic kid. He's just a Glenn Wallace clone. I haven't seen anyone built like that, especially a rookie, in a long time. That guy's built like a linebacker. He's just chiseled. And he's physical and he competes. And I'm interested to see what happens. I think they hit on that. And it's surprising to say they've hit on so many things when their record is what it is. But the arrow is just high. I like the pieces that they have. I like the way that they play with each other, and I just really want to see how they grow. Negatives, my guy Blake. If you watch the this thing in the preseason, my thing was trying to find a team for Blake Griffin. Because the last time we saw him in a full season was that All NBA season of 2 years ago, and I think that we were far removed from when I thought we would see it again this year, and doesn't look like it's going to happen. It just might be that last injury might have been the one that broke the camel's back. A lot of people, when Zion was coming into the league, were saying they hadn't seen anything like him in college, and I was just like, what he was in college, that's what Blake was his rookie year. Just for the kids, you go look at his YouTube highlights. Blake Griffin top 50 dunks. I mean, this guy, he came in the league and back when SportsCenter was still a thing, and he just dominated SportsCenter, and just the highlights, the dunks, dunking on some of the best defenders in the league. And when he came to Detroit, obviously his athleticism had begun to wane, and he had a more skilled game, was shooting a lot of threes and was still being able to play bully ball. And now you look at his stat line, he'll have like 7 shots in the game and 5 of them are threes. It's just, and I don't know, maybe he's working through something physically right now. But as far as it seems, from what I've seen, it doesn't look good. So hopefully he's working through something. You don't want a player to be hurt, but so we'll see. What else do I have here? Sekou Doumbouya, haven't really seen anything from him. He was a high pick 2 years ago in the draft, and haven't really seen anything from him. I've talked about the wings hidden, and there is only so many wing minutes, but would like to see something from him. Ski Makalu. Before I even get into him, we have to shout out the Lakers. They've drafted. Obi is the one that brought that up, of how if you just put together a team of the Lakers draft picks the last 5-6 years, you have a really, really good team. So you have Ski, you have Mo Wagner, you have Thomas Bryant, you have Jordan Clarkson, you have D'Angelo Russell, Brandon Ingram, Julius Randle, Zubac. I'm missing another big in there, but these are solid players. That's a good team. That team right there, that's a good team. Not good draft picks. That's a good team. So THT. You put that together. This is a good team. So So yeah, that is the Pistons. I would say arrows up. They have upcoming games against Philly, the Cavs, the Lakers, and the Warriors. But they look like they're prime position to be drafted high in the lottery. And this is not a bad year. There's supposed to be 7 guys, number one overall potential quality player. So we'll see if they end up getting one of these guys, which one it is. Hopefully they hit on that pick. They hit this year. I think they blew their draft out of the waters. We have to see what Killian Hayes is, but their off season was really great, and hopefully they build upon it. If you're a Pistons fan, I think the sky is definitely bright, and there's not that many storm clouds. It looks good for the Pistons. So 30 teams, 10 minutes, 30 by 10. Detroit Pistons, bet of the day. Check that out every day around 3:30 p.m. NBA Nightly Notes getting started this Monday. So get at me. Go.